Okay, so welcome everyone. Hello, my name is Jason Gorenstein. So nice to see you all here. Welcome, Karen. Nice to have you here. My apologies for the change in times. I was trying to facilitate. I had to facilitate getting to somewhere, so I apologize for that. But I was able to get everything set up. So I'm just turning on the lighting right now. That's better. All right. That should be good. All right, so welcome to practice. We are in our Urban Zen Integrative Wellness practice routine today. I hope that you're having a lovely Saturday. Today is June the 20th. Wow, we've made it here. 062020. 20. So, so we made it. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day today. So nice to be here with you all. Karen, it's phenomenal to see you here. Anybody else joining us, I hope that you're having a wonderful day, Saturday that is. Let me know how the audio sounds. I got some, they're doing some housework next door, so hopefully that is not in the feed. But I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day today. You know, if you have an essential oil, maybe starting out with an essential oil, whether that be a lemon oil, a lemon as a refreshing smell, or maybe some lavender oil, or even some eucalyptus. Oh, welcome. Okay, sounds good. So, Colleen, so nice to have you here. Amazing. Beautiful to have you part of this practice. So, welcome as we share our Saturday of, perfect. Thank you so much, Colleen. Wonderful. So thank you for being here. And yes, this is a happy Saturday, as I shared, June the 20th. And I hope that you all both are having a lovely Saturday today. So without further ado, let us begin. And we're going to begin lying down on our backs. And, you know, I was thinking that a good pose to start with would be supported relaxation pose or constructive rest pose. So either of those poses could be nice for today. Constructive rest is lying on your back, knees together, feet apart, feet about hips width distance apart, maybe a blanket underneath the head, maybe a blanket underneath the toes. Supported relaxation pose being with a blanket underneath your back and a blanket underneath your head, and lying down on your back as well. So without further ado, I will join you guys both with our practice today. So happy, as I shared, June the 20th. Perfect. So as we begin our practice today, welcome to class. And as I shared with you guys, thank you guys so much for being able to modify your times to the schedule. I know kind of trying to get everybody coordinated sometimes can be a challenge. So I'm just grateful for you guys to be here and to share some Urban Zen Integrative therapy. So we'll start out with a blanket underneath our back and a blanket underneath our head, just like this. And you can extend your legs fully forward, maybe taking a bolster underneath these legs, and just begin to allow yourself to release on down. So let's say you don't have any props. Maybe you don't have any props today. You can start out in Shavasana like this, or if you'd like, you can start out in the pose called constructive rest pose, which is like this. So knees together, feet apart. You know, you can use props if you want. If you know this pose, you take a blanket, you place them underneath the feet. You take more blankets, you place them underneath the head. You could release here. If you don't have blankets, then you're just going to rest your head down on the ground, your feet on the ground. Close your eyes. And just begin to allow your breath to become long and slow here. So starting a constructive rest is quite symbolic in terms of a posture. When we take this pose, we are constructively allowing ourselves to rest. And as we take constructive rest pose, it's really a reminder for all of us that it's okay to rest.
that it's okay to relax. And oftentimes in our lives, we don't really give ourselves that permission. And that's very common in our society. That's not just you. You know, you may think it's just me. I have a difficult time relaxing. I have a difficult time letting myself just be still for, a few minutes. That's not true. It really is our society. And learning to give yourself this time is something that is a learned trait. It's a learned behavior. It's not something most of us naturally find. Obviously, I find as we develop this Urban Zen practice, this is a really incredible time for us to come back to our bodies. And if you were working with that essential oil smell, maybe returning to that smell, you could place that, cup your hands in, and make what we call oftentimes is called a aroma tent. An aroma tent is just the essential oil, maybe in your hands or maybe on a tissue, and just begin to breathe in that smell and release here. Now, this is a great point for all of us to come together and simply to just reflect on allowing ourselves to be relaxed. Reflecting on allowing ourselves to be at ease. And usually, when we begin this practice, I was thinking about what would be a really good way to work with today, or what would be good for today. Well, common theme, it seems like, throughout today's culture there's been two. It's not just been one, but there's been these two common themes. The first theme has been this theme of we need to be protecting ourselves, right? And that's very true right now, absolutely. This theme of protection. So when we talk about protection, we often talk about forward folds. We talk about poses where we're on the ground. We talk about poses where we allow ourselves to rest more. Okay? That's protection. But there's another theme that's happening at the same time. It's this theme of openness. It's this theme of allowing ourselves to be receptive, to be open towards society, to be open towards life. And that's the second theme. That has to do with opening our chest, opening our heart, letting our collarbones spread wide apart, allowing for yourself to take a lot of poses where your chest is facing either the ceiling or your chest is opening. And these two, they're kind of opposite practices. They're happening at the same time. So this practice of where we need to go inward and we need to protect and we need to defend ourselves, and this opposite practice, which is we need to open ourselves up. We need to be more receptive to humans, and we need to be more connecting to each other. So both of these are kind of playing off of each other. And as you rest here, really start to observe yourself on the ground first of all. So we take constructive rest or supported relaxation pose to start to feel ourselves resting on the ground. And as you rest on the ground, just noticing the subtlety here of the body, of the breath, of the mind. You're going to begin to hug the right knee into the chest. As that right knee hugs in, you'll let that right knee come out to the right side, back to center, and out to the right side, and back to center. And one more time out to the right side, and back to center, and out to the right side, and back to center. Release that right foot down. Let the left knee come into the chest. And allow that left knee to move out to the left. And draw that left knee back into center. And left leg comes out to the left. And left knee comes back into center. Left knee out to left. Left knee back to center. Left knee out to left. Left knee back to center. Release the left foot down. Knees come together one more time. Hug the right knee again. Take the right foot this time. Place the right foot over the top of the left thigh. And using your left palm, gently press your left thigh away from you. And as you continue to breathe here, just begin to feel the openness of that right leg. You can begin to circle your right toes around in circles here. Moving your foot in circles and opposite circles. And you'll draw that right knee into the chest and release that right foot down. Take the left knee in, hug the left knee into the chest. Take the left foot, cross it over the top of the right thigh this time. And as you press the left thigh away, begin to move your right foot now in circles and in reverse circles. And taking that left knee back in the center and releasing that left foot on down. Hug that right knee in again. Draw the right knee in. And this time you're going to rock both knees out to either side and draw both knees back into center. Draw both knees out to either side. Draw both knees into center. Both knees out to either side. Both knees into center. One more time. Both knees out to either side. Both knees into center. Release the right foot down. Hug the left knee into the chest. So with the left leg out to the left, right leg out to the right. And draw both legs into center. Left leg to left, right leg to right. And allow your knees to come back to center. Again, left knee to left, right knee to right. And back to center. And eventually hug both knees into the chest here. So as you hug both knees into the chest, just rock those knees to the right and over towards the left. And over towards the right. And over towards the left. And back to center again as you release both those feet on down. Good. Now if you have a blanket behind the head, you can move that blanket back behind you a little bit more. So you release your head down on the mat. And as you press down through the feet, inhale, begin to coil the belly up. Hug the belly in as you begin to peel up that tailbone. As you exhale, lower the tail on down. And as you inhale here, thrust the pelvis up. Allow the backs of the waist to lengthen to the backs of the knees. And as you exhale, lower that pelvis on down. And again here, inhale, thrusting the pelvis on up, letting the tailbone move to the backs of the knees. And as you exhale here, lowering that tail on down. So taking the feet back to a knees bent position and drawing both knees over towards your left. And back to center. And over towards your right. And back to center. We're going to do that a couple more times. To the left. And to center. And to the right. And to center. And then eventually you're going to roll your way over onto your side and press your way on up. And we're going to find our way into a seated position. By the way, Colleen, let me know if you have props, because I instruct with props, but I know that Karen does. But if you don't have props, it changes the way I teach. So if you don't mind just letting me know what props you have. Do you have 3 blankets? Do you have a bolster? And if you don't, there's objects that we can use around the house that make it easier for you to take the postures. So you can sit onto a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you could use a couple of pillows here. You could use a couple of blankets stacked up one on top of the other, and find your way into a seated position. Close your eyes here. Just close your eyes. And allow your attention to be long and slow. Okay, perfect. Excellent, Colleen. So that makes it a lot easier for me to teach. If you do have the props, I can be a better teacher. So as you continue to breathe here, just close those eyes and just begin to allow the breath to become long and slow. Allow your inhalations to become long and slow. That's perfect. Allow your exhalations to become long and slow. And as you continue to breathe, just start to notice your breath traveling in and out through the nostrils. Breathing in and breathing out. So lately, guys, I've been working with this idea of breath awareness. And it's interesting because breath awareness is something that usually takes a little bit of time to get used to. But I found that in my more recent practice, it's actually been easier for me to hold that breath awareness practice. And as you take breath awareness, it's actually rather simple. You're just going to notice your breath moving in through your nose and out through your nose. And even as simple as that is, it's not always easy. Because our mind, our attention, it easily moves. It moves very easily. It can move from a thought to the body to the breath, and all three, it's normal. That's normal if that happens. So as you take your attention to your breath, just start to notice your inhalations and your exhalations. And allow those breaths to become long and slow here. And allowing you to observe your inhale and allowing you to observe your exhale. Inhale. And your exhale. And once again, observing your inhale. And observing your exhale. And as you continue to notice this process of your breathing, of your breath flow as it moves in through your nose and you're out through your nose, just begin to feel any sense of softness here. So as we started our practice today with some mindful movements and then we transition into a little bit of meditation, it's a great moment for us to be kind to ourselves. Meditation is often the very first practice that we begin to slow down our way of thinking. And it's not always easy to do, to meditate. Many times we may find ourselves lost in thought. And it's okay. It's okay to be there. And as you feel ready, you draw the attention back to your breath. And you just notice any amount of relaxation across the body, across the mind. Breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And this is usually the first practice of breath awareness 1. Breath awareness 1 is breathing this way. And if you notice any pulling sensations, for instance, in the hips, in the outer hip flexors, in the psoas, in the IT bands, you can always extend your legs forward. You don't necessarily want to, in this practice, sit through pain. I wrote a really good essay about a Vipassana retreat I did a few years back, and it talks about that. It was in 2018, I believe, 2 years back. And it talks about this aspect that I was determined to sit through the pain, and I did. And many times, if you sit through it, it does change. It doesn't necessarily stay the same. But when we sit through pain too many times, then oftentimes we lose the ability to kind of modify our practice. So it's often important to note that if you do feel a sensation of pain, it's okay to change your posture. However, if you keep fidgeting your posture, you'll never fully relax into the sensation. So it's important here, as I share in that essay, that you develop this aspect of being diligent in your practice, but not pushing yourself to injury. So try, when you start to feel like you're moving into injury, it's okay to change your practice. You don't have to always be, 100% on. But you do want to be focused. You do want your attention to be persistent and diligent. And we're going to move back into some mindful movements, yogis, Kali and Karen, anybody else who's joining us. Take your hands to the center chest, press your palms forward in front of you, round that hip, upper spine. Feel those shoulders rounding. Feel the belly hugging back. Feel the eyes soft. As you inhale, float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Raise through the fingers here. Lengthen through those side ribs. As you exhale, round through the spine. Release the head on down. And allow the eyes to soften here. As you inhale, peel up the chest. Peel up the heart. Peel up the sternum, maybe lifting those fingers all the way out towards the ceiling. And as you exhale here, gliding those hands forward in front of you. Letting that head round on down. Breathing here. Just softening through those shoulders. As you inhale, peel up the chest. Peel up the heart. Peel up the sternum. Very good. And as you exhale, turn the chest over to the left. Release the palms here. Begin to place the left palm back behind you. Begin to take the right hand, crossing it over the left thigh. As you inhale, begin to turn the chest here and see that the weight is even in those hips. Press down through the left palm. Draw the right shoulder forward. Draw the left shoulder blade in towards the shoulder socket. And breathe here. And breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to center, yogis. Turn the head to the other side. Inhale, float the arms up and above your head. And bring the hands into the center chest. Now, take your legs and just recross them the opposite way. So we've been sitting for a little bit of time. So let's first start, before we even do that, let's extend our legs fully forward. And just begin to kind of move your hands up and down those legs. So stretch out your muscles, especially those back muscles. Good. And now you can take your feet together. So before we do the other side, take your feet together, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And just begin to breathe here. Let the head curl forward. Breathe into those inner groins. See that the femur bones continue to connect with the pelvis. See that the knees continue to connect with the ankles, with the shins. So you have those tibia and fibia bones in the legs. You have the big femur bone, which is in the thigh. And the femur bone, believe it or not, is the largest bone in the body. That leg bone. So it's the largest bone in the body. And as you begin to breathe here, lift the chest on up. And as you exhale, round the spine. As you inhale, lift the chest on up. And as you exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lifting the chest on up. And exhale, rounding the spine. Come back to center here. Good. And as you feel ready, you're going to take your legs. You're going to cross them the opposite way. So at this point, hopefully your legs are able to be crossed again. If not, just extend your legs forward in front of you. And breathe here. Okay? From here, take your hands to the center chest. Interlace your fingers again. Press your palms forward in front of you. Lift your arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. And as you continue to breathe here, just see that the belly's hugging in. See that the back muscles are long. See that the fingers are long. As you exhale, rounding through the spine here. Look towards the belly. As you inhale, peel up the chest. As you exhale, rounding through the spine. As you inhale, peeling up the chest. One more time, exhale, rounding through the spine. One more time, inhaling, lifting up through the chest. Turn the chest over to the right side of the room. Release the right hand back behind you. Take the left hand, place it over the top of the right knee, and begin to twist here. Now as you twist here, see that your right shoulder moves into the center chest. See that your chest begins to revolve over towards the right. And continue to breathe here. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, twisting to the other side. Inhale, floating those arms up back to center. Raise those arms up over the head. As you exhale here, we're going to begin to release our hands down to the mat and find our way onto our hands and our knees. So come off of your bolster right now, and we're just going to begin to move very slowly and mindfully through cat and cow pose. Spread across the fingers here. Feel the outer armpits wrapping in, the outer triceps wrapping in. Knees under the hips. Belly's engaged. Inhale, peel up the chest here. As you exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling forward through the chest, spreading across the fingers. As you exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling up through the chest. One more time, exhaling, rounding through the spine. And as you come back to center here, just begin to lengthen your right leg to the back of the room and press that right heel down. See that the fingers are spread wide apart here. Press the fingers forward to the front of the mat. Feel your forearms lifting up and allow the head to release on down. Breathe into the back of that right leg. See that the left outer hip draws back and in. Feel the belly hugging in here. as you continue to breathe. And as you feel ready, exhale, softly release that right knee down. Float the left leg back. So as you spread across the fingers here, press through the left ball of the foot, firm the right outer hip in, hug the belly in. Spread the fingers wide apart. As you hug the right hip in, draw the belly in. See that you can lengthen through the center chest.
And as you exhale, lower that left knee on down. Good. And then from here, you're going to lower your head all the way down and find your way into the child's pose. So if you can, release your hips towards your heels. If not, just let those hips be lifted.
Release the head on down. Close the eyes here and breathe. Child's pose. You can have your hands back of your shoulders. You could have your hands forward of your chest. And just breathe here. And as you feel ready, inhale, begin to peel up your chest. Lifting through your heart, lifting through your sternum here. And as you exhale, tuck the toes underneath. Float the thigh bones back. Lift the kneecaps up. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose. Walk the feet a little bit wider apart. So the feet are just hugging around the outer edges of the mat. The inner edges of the mat, rather. See that those heels continue to draw back. Release the head down towards the mat. And breathe here. And as you feel ready, begin to walk the feet forward towards the hands. And as you inhale, draw the hands towards the shins as you lift the chest on up. As you exhale here, release the torso all the way down towards the ground. Let the head release on down. Take the right thumb, bring it into the left elbow crease. Take the left thumb, bring it into the right elbow crease. Continue to breathe into the back of the body here. Let those knees be bent slightly. And just let your entire trunk of the body release down to the mat. Let the eyes be soft here as you breathe. Now take your hands, place your hands on the low back. As you inhale, press down the buttocks flush. As you inhale, lift the chest on up. So interestingly, I find yoga so fascinating because we just spent the first 30 minutes of our class on the ground. You know, yoga, when we think about yoga, usually we think about a lot of standing postures. And it's so interesting to think about when your whole practice could be on the ground. And then, and then 30 minutes into the class, then you're finally standing. So oftentimes that's how yoga goes. It's a practice where over time we develop that sense of ourselves. We develop that ability to kind of lift up from the ground. So as we stand in Tadasana pose, start to just rock forwards and backwards a few times through those feet. And really feel into those feet. This is a great opportunity for us to kind of connect with our feet, to root with our feet here. And interlace those fingers at the center chest. And as you feel ready, press your palms forward in front of you. We're going to actually move into that cat and cow pose here. As you inhale, raise your arms up. So this is like cow pose. Lift your arms up, lift through the chest, lift through the heart, the sternum. And as you exhale, keep the hands together, hug the belly in, bend the knees slightly, and round that spine. So we're still rounding the spine here. We're in cat pose, we're standing. And as you inhale, press down through the feet, draw the thigh bones back, hug the belly in, inhale, finding our way back into cow. So cow, remember, is a full lengthening body of the top of the chest. And as you round here, once again, find your way back into cat pose. So the slower you move, the better. If you guys look at me, I'm not moving too quickly in and out of these poses. I'm intentionally moving slowly. And then as you press through the feet, draw the belly in. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Raise, as you press down through the feet, raise those arms up. And as you exhale, rounding here through your spine, coiling in through the belly, releasing down, all the way down with gravity. Good. Hands come to the low back. Press down through those sit bones. Inhale, peeling up through the chest so the buttocks flesh releases down to the mat. And take your arms out to the sides. Okay. So, we have not done a lot of this in Urban Zen practice, but we're going to be doing some movement of swaying from side to side. So what I'd like you to do is just kind of sway your arms over from side to side, bending your left knee here, straightening that left leg, and then bending your right knee and straightening through your right leg. And you're just going to alternate from side to side here. So alternating to the left, straightening, alternating to the right, and straightening. So these are mindful movements. They actually come from Asian practice. This is like a Chinese Tai Chi practice, if any of you have done Tai Chi before. And back to center. And again, moving over to the one side, floating back, and to the other side. Amazing. So as we come back to center, let's release those hands down at our sides. And we're going to inhale. We're going to lift up through the right palm. Raise the right palm over the head as you press down through that left arm. Turn the fingers to face one another. Glide the fingers across towards each other as you move back to center. And then spin up through that left palm up, right palm down, and again. So we turn the palms to face one another. We glide the fingers back forward and past each other. Continue to breathe here, spinning the right arm up towards the ceiling, pressing the left fingers down towards the mat as you breathe here. And again, so we take the hands towards one another. And then we glide the fingers across center here. And as you glide the fingers across center, take the left palm, extend it up towards the ceiling. Take the right palm, draw it on down towards the mat, and breathe here. And again, draw the fingers towards one another. So this is called Qigong. This is a practice that's very similar to mindful movements. In fact, many of the mindful movements come from these practices and lifting up through that right arm. Good. And finding our way back to center here. As you feel ready, inhale, float the arms up. We're going to come through a couple of half A-series sun salutations. As you exhale, forward fold here, and slowly release your hands all the way down towards the mat. As you inhale here, place the hands on the shins, peel your chest on up, look forward. And as you exhale, hinge at those hips and release your torso all the way down. Inhale, float your arms forward and up above your head, raising up through those fingers here, lifting up through the chest. As you exhale, gliding those arms down and out to the sides and releasing the palms to face open here. Inhale, floating open, lifting up through those arms. Exhale, hinging and folding here. Inhale, lifting up halfway, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you exhale, hinging and folding again. Inhale, raising those arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the fingers, lengthening through the palms. And as you exhale, glide those arms back and bring them back to the sides of the body. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, floating on up. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, folding again. Inhale, raising the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. Exhale, bringing those hands back down into the sides. Take your hands to your hips here. Step your feet a little bit wider apart so the left foot steps to the left and the right foot steps to the right. And from here, just begin to glide the hands down the legs and release the head all the way down towards the mat. So see that head is releasing down. See that those inner legs are lifting up. And breathe here. This is called Prasarita Padottanasana, or wide angle fold pose. Prasarita actually means reverse. Whenever you hear the word Prasarita, it means reverse. So it's not a back bend. It's a forward bend. Inward practice. Inward practice. And then take those hands to the low back, pressing down through the feet. Inhale, peeling up the chest, the heart, the sternum. And walking those feet back towards one another. Good. Okay. So we're going to transition our way back onto our mat. We had a little bit of movement, bringing a little bit of circulation into the body. And now what I'd like you to do is set up on your back. So for you, Colleen, what I'm going to have you do is take a single block and place it on the medium setting and place a bolster over it like this. For you, Karen, you know the full setup. You're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana, so move that block forward. Place a nice little block on top, so you have two blocks. You have one on the medium setting, one on the highest setting. And you're going to take blankets to either side. So both Colleen and Karen, you can take blankets to either side of these legs, just like this. And if you have a strap here, you may want to consider placing a strap right over top of the legs. Now, the other thing, Colleen, you may want to do is if you have a very small pillow, not a large pillow, you may want to use a small pillow for your head when you lie down in this pose. So your tailbone is going to be off of the bolster, and your lower back is going to be on the bolster. So it's difficult to kind of explain if you're familiar with from the posture, Supta Baddha Konasana. If you're familiar with the posture, it's fairly easy, but if you're unfamiliar with the posture, it can be challenging to kind of explain here. And here, as we take this pose, if you have a strap, you'll take a strap and you'll place it right over your low back, make a wide loop like a hula hoop, and then you're going to begin to tighten this strap just like this and release the head on down. So what I was saying here is for you, Colleen, if you want, you could take a pillow, a couch pillow, and just place it right over your head like this. And Karen, obviously, you know the pose. You just have that third blanket behind the head. And close the eyes here. Now, if you have an essential oil by you, you may want to use an essential oil here, maybe lavender for relaxation, maybe lemon for rejuvenation. Those are two good recommendations. If you want to use peppermint, you can if you're looking for something more wakeful. And just begin to rest here in this pose. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana, or supported lying on your back bound angle pose. It's actually Salamba. Salamba means supported. It's actually Salamba Supta Baddha Konasana. It's not Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana is just lying on our back. This is Salamba. Salamba means that we have a support under our back. The word Salamba in Sanskrit means support. So we take this Supta Baddha Konasana pose in order for us to relax more deeply. And then we're going to kind of hybridize the practices we do in Urban Zen. We're going to take our hands to the center chest. If you know the Reiki precepts, you can use them here in English or in Japanese. Now I'll recite them in English. Just for today, may I let go of anger. Just for today, may I let go of worry. And you can repeat these after me. Just for today, may I be grateful. Just for today, may I be kind. Just for today, may I be living my authentic purpose. So I flipped 4 and 5, but that's all of them. Now take your hands to your forehead. If you're setting an intention for anyone, yourself, a family member, a friend, let their energy move out to them. Multiple friends, dogs, cats, trees, plants, the rainforest, Mother Nature, the sky, the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe. And then when we take our hands back to our center chest, we're not doing anything at all. There's actually a chant in yoga. It says, Pralopan Visrajan Grinanu Mishani Mishana Be Indriyani Intriyarteshu Vatasayatidarayan. And what the chant says is all these actions in the body, so there's many actions the body takes. It opens and closes the eyes. It grips the fingers and releases, so it grips and clutches. It excretes, like it releases, whether it's fluid or it releases waste from the body. All of these actions of the body this is a very yogic chant. All of these actions of the body is not the doing of the person who believes they're doing the action. All of these actions just happens naturally on their own. So my teacher would often chant this chant, and how I feel with this chant is it's just a reminder that all these actions, when we talk about control or not control, it's best to just assume that we're allowing ourselves to observe and to be connected to our authentic self. So try to focus more on what makes you feel good. And then if you'd like Reiki position number 1, hands over the eyes. If you used oil, place the reverse side of the hand over the eyes, just so that you don't get the oil into your eyes. If your eyes are sensitive, you can just leave your hands off of your eyes. And breathe here. And then take your hands and place them over your head for Reiki position number 2, the crown of the head. The crown chakra. And breathe here. This is your connection to the universe, universal consciousness. If you feel any lower back tension in the pose in Supta Baddha Konasana, then just roll over and take Shavasana pose with a bolster under the knees and a blanket under the head. So please try not to sit through pain in today's class. And then take your hands behind the back of your head. And breathe here. Back of the head is the emotional center of the body, responsible for where the amygdala is, the medulla oblongata. You guys have heard of that. Helps us to regulate hormones. And our little pineal gland at the center of the head. So these are all the amygdala, medulla oblongata, and the frontal brain. These three lobes, which are in the very center of the brain that run out. So the medulla oblongata connects to the cerebellum, which is at the very base of the brain. It's responsible for our primitive instincts, like our primitive awareness. Not thinking. It's really our reaction centers, or what are deeper rooted conditionings. You know, neuroscientists used to believe that brain waves could not change. They believed that it was impossible for brain waves to change. And then they found, obviously, over time, that indeed brain waves change, and there are various patterns. The nerves the nerves in the brain, they can reorient themselves. They can fire in new patterns. And then taking your hands and placing your hands over your throat. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool. This is your throat, responsible for talking, doing actions, etc. And then placing the hands over the chest. Chest is the heart center. I'm breathing in and releasing here. Taking your hands to the belly. And then placing your hands over the top of the pelvis. And then eventually to the legs. And as you feel ready, untucking your toes here, letting your feet come back together again, being here for another moment. And as you exhale, begin to roll onto your side. As you feel ready, gently begin to press your way on up and find your way into a seated position. You can move the props off to the sides if you want. You can have a seat on your bolster if you'd like. And cross those legs. All right. So as we close class today, what I think would be nice is for us once again to come to let's come to these Reiki precepts, if you will. So you guys can repeat after me. Just for today, may I let go of anger. Just for today, may I let go of worry. Just for today, may I be grateful. Just for today, may I live from my highest purpose. Just for today, may I be kind. Now you're going to direct it to somebody else. Just for today, may you be grateful. I'm sorry. Just for today, may you let go of anger. Just for today, may you let go of worry. Just for today, may you be love, or may you be happiness. Just for today, may you be authentic. Just for today, may you be kind. And now let's generate this to the world. Just for today, may the world let go of anger. Just for today, may the world let go of worry. Just for today, may the world be grateful. Just for today, may the world be authentic. Just for today, may the world be kind. As you exhale, raise the hands up towards the temples, release the forehead down towards the mat. And then take the hands back to the center chest. Release the palms down to the sides. Inhale, lift the head, and float the eyes open. So, thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure. Once again, my apologies for the delay of starting a little bit later. You know, I may actually be I might change the time to 1 o'clock anyway, to be honest, just because I teach at 2:30 and it's easier for me to teach back to back. So in the future, I might decide to do that. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments if you think it's easier, if 1 o'clock is okay, or if you think 12 is better. But 1 o'clock might be better just because it's a little bit, I can teach 1 and then I can teach 2:30. So it just kind of bunches the classes together. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal day. I hope you enjoyed our Urban Zen Integrative Therapy practice. So as I come up to the computer here. Oh, thank you so much, Colleen. It's amazing to have you. Thank you, Karen, as well. Thank you for both of you ladies for being here. Thank you for, you guys also blessed me with your presence. So I just want to say, sending all the love in the world and hoping that you ladies are doing well and you're finding happiness in some of these difficult times. And, oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Karen. Appreciate that. And as I continue to share with you ladies, if you enjoyed this class, I do teach a couple of other classes through the week. Now, you can just come to this class if you want, but I teach a 5:30 on Sundays, which I believe tomorrow I'm most likely... Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you, Karen. Tomorrow, I think I'm pretty sure it's going to be recorded just because I have Father's Day things I have to attend to. But if you guys want, every weekday at 3 p.m., I teach a class, and it's a wonderful class. I know that you guys would like it. I don't know if you're busy at that time. but you might just want to drop into a 3 o'clock class during the week. It's every weekday at 3 o'clock, and I have this lovely couple that practices with me. They're regulars, and some other people that tend to drop in. So it's a really nice class. We combine Urban Zen, but we also add a little extra twist of different practices. So if it feels like something else you want to add into your schedule, please feel free to drop in at a 3 o'clock class. So any classes, all classes are open to you guys. If you're not already on my listserv, every class is recorded. Yes, every class is recorded. So, and one other cool thing, which I'm gonna share with you right now, is I have a YouTube page, which I'm not even sure if you guys are aware of, but I have a YouTube page that is at Yoga with Jason Gorenstein, and let me see if I can get that page with you guys, just so I can put that in the little. It makes it. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a link to that page right here, just so that you guys have it. So you'll have that YouTube page. And then what you can do is you can go to the YouTube page, and all of the videos are posted after. So any video that I do, it's going to be on my YouTube page. So all the videos, they go over to YouTube. And I have so many videos on YouTube. I'm not quite sure why the username is under that name, which it's under a different name, which is funny. But I'm gonna post this one video right here, and I'm just gonna put it in the comment section, and then I'm gonna pin it so that you can see it. And if you click on that link right there, if you click on this link called Smooth Wellness. That's one of the 3 o'clock classes. So if you click on that link, you'll see I go by Yoga at Yoga with Jason G. And I've started to go by that. I actually would prefer to go by Yoga at Yoga with Jason, but it was taken on Facebook. That's the reason why I went with at Yoga with Jason G. So I'm trying my best to be very consistent with live streaming yoga. I have live streaming yoga. And also, the other thing, Karen, if you want, I have this really lovely morning practice, which is a beginner's practice that if you ever feel like, it's a 6 a.m. practice. So it is an early morning practice, but it's for beginners. And the people that come to this practice are phenomenal. They're some of my favorite practitioners. So please feel free also, if you guys like, to check in at that time. I have so many videos posted. I literally have right now, I think somewhere around 200 videos posted. So there's so much videos. There's a crazy amount of videos. You don't have to see them all, but if you ever want to watch a video, they're all posted there. So I don't know. I like to record videos, and that's why I just started doing it. So I hope that you both have a lovely rest of your Saturday. I will continue to be here. I will be continuing to present everybody with live yoga videos. I think I'm gonna switch over to Saturday at 1 o'clock. So starting next week. And Sunday at 5:30 will still go on, but the thing is I might just pre-record it because I might be doing Father's Day stuff. So, I love the restorative yoga class, and I'm going to definitely do a restorative yoga class for tomorrow. So have a phenomenal day, Colleen. Have a phenomenal day, Karen. It's an honor to be able to practice with you yoginis. And it really inspires my practice. I was saying that on Friday morning with my regular crew, that I'm so lucky to have you guys here because it really inspires me, and it also kind of gives me some hope for continuing to kind of build and share yoga practice with people. So, everyday yoga, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, everyday yoga, but it's not that it has to be every day, but just that there's live streaming yoga classes, something that we can do live together. So without further ado, Karen, have a phenomenal rest of your Saturday. Please be kind to yourself, be well. Colleen, also have a wonderful Saturday as well. Thank you so much. And both of you ladies,
I will look forward to seeing you very, very soon, my ladies of yoga. As I usually give on my normal sign off for class, I say, yogis, without further ado, I wish you plenty of happiness, plenty of love, plenty of joy. Be well. Be happy. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Namaste, ladies. Bye.